Find the derivative of y equals 2x to the fourth secant 4x plus 2x to the fourth tangent 4x. So y here is made up of two different terms, a 2x to the fourth times secant 4x, and then added to 2x to the fourth times tangent of 4x. Each of the terms themselves are products of a 2x to the fourth times a trig function. So we will make use of product rules for each of the two terms and add the results together because of that plus. So let's start with the first term, the 2x to the fourth secant 4x. The derivative y prime, or dy dx, will be the derivative of the first, power rule, bring the 4 down, multiply with the 2. That'll be 8. Subtract 1 from the power. Leave the second alone, and then add to it the first left alone times the derivative of the second. The derivative of secant 4x will be secant tangent, leave the inside alone, so secant 4x, tangent 4x, and then multiply by the derivative of the inside to complete the chain rule, so multiply with a 4. That's all the derivative of the first term. Now we add to it the derivative of the second term. That's the 2x to the fourth tangent 4x. The derivative of the first will be the power rule. Bring the power down, subtract 1 from it, multiply by the second left alone, and then we'll add to this the first left alone times the derivative of the second, the tangent, which will be secant squared. Leave the inside alone, and then multiply by the derivative of the inside to complete the chain rule. So altogether we now have 4 terms that are being added together because we started with 2 terms, each of which had a product rule. So the next step I'm going to do is bring this 4, it'll multiply out front with that 2, and likewise with this 4, it'll multiply out front with that 2. This first term I'm going to leave the way it is. It's 8x cubed secant 4x. Then we have, bringing the 4 out front, and 8x to the fourth secant 4x tangent 4x. The third term I'm going to leave as is, 8x cubed tangent 4x. And then that fourth term, bringing the 4 out to the front, will give us 8x to the fourth secant squared 4x. The next thing I'm going to do is factor. There's a common factor of a constant 8 in each of the terms. We can factor that out. And there's also powers of x in there. I see we have an x cubed, an x to the fourth, an x cubed, and an x to the fourth. So the lowest power is going to be the cubed. We'll be able to factor out an x cubed. Now, since we took the 8 out, it should be taking out the 8 from each of these. So it should have those removed. When we're taking out x cubed, that'll remove all of these, 3 of the 4 there, all of these, and then 3 of the 4 there. So that kind of gives us a hint of what we should have left after factoring. So it looks like it will be a secant 4x plus an x times secant 4x tangent 4x plus a tangent 4x plus an x secant squared 4x. There's no other common factors here. The trig functions are not the same in all the terms. Since we have a term that has only a secant here, and we have a term that has only a tangent here, There's no common factors left with these. So nothing else that we can do with it, so we will leave y prime dy dx as 8x cubed times secant 4x plus x secant 4x tangent 4x plus tangent 4x plus x secant squared of 4x. That's as simple as we can make it.